do you just, when you go to parties or like when we go to the beach and people have like just bags of chips and stuff like that, and do you just like, yeah, whatever, it's summer, I'm just gonna go for it? Or like when we go to parties or barbecues or people's houses, or it's July 4th, this is just kind of like, I'm just gonna eat like this and drink a lot today and then I'm good for the rest of the week? Or like, what's your mentality around that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've fluctuated over the years. I think I had times where, I mean, I would just say, screw it, I'm doing it all. But right now I've got like a goal, right? I want to be better at volleyball.
Yeah.
And I know if I eat like an ass every opportunity I get to eat like an ass,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be as good at volleyball.
Right.
And I educated myself on like if I drink too much, then my body won't go into REM sleep. So I won't get good sleep, which is a commodity as it stands with having Nugget back there who's enjoying the world. So it's like, I think for me right now, I'm in a place where since I have that goal of being physically capable,
Yeah.
that I make better decisions. But when I don't have that goal, I'm just like, yeah, it's summer.
And then do you like have regrets afterwards?
Do I have regrets? No.
Like when you're like, yeah, it's summer. Like I think you're a pretty like confident, like okay with yourself person.
Yeah.
Like, and I think you just deal with it. You're like, yeah, you don't even like think twice. Like you just eat and drink, and then the next day you're like, well, it's just another day. Like,
yeah,
you might have a bit of a sniffly nose or something, but you're good to go.
I am.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's like I know I'm a lot thicker than I've been in the past. Like I'm thick dad, and which is still like lean for a lot of people too. But it's like I don't think that drives you. Like losing weight doesn't drive you. It doesn't drive me, but also like I don't know. I've never had my identity held in the way I looked, so I think I'm coming from an unfair place.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so for me, I will talk about me, and then we can maybe like come to some like actually give some advice. Maybe for me, I like.
I don't know if I feel qualified to give advice here.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think that's gonna work because I'm one of those people who like if I have a bad day of eating, I do feel like not just like one little thing here and there, but if I like go to a party and I just like eat everything, I feel bad the next day. Like not just physically bad, I feel like kind of like emotionally bad. Like, oh man, I regret that.
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of people probably maybe more like me, that like I regret it not just because it makes me feel bad, but I regret it being like, man, I like worked pretty hard to stay a certain, you know, how like I look and feel. I'm not super motivated by like losing weight, but when I eat badly, I do kind of feel like I'm chunkier. I know that's not what happens. I can't stand food, but
right. So how do you cope with that?
Well, what I've been trying to do, like when we go to the beach, I've been like cutting up fruit and vegetables and putting them in. Right. And then just taking like stuff for the boys that they can have, like, you know, kids crackers and stuff. Because I'm like, I won't like delve into stuff like that too much. But so I guess that's something that you can do. And I think the things that's hard is like when you go to parties, if you don't have any self-control, what do you do?
Well, you don't drink. That's for one. Like, if you drink at a party, you are 100% more likely. That's not a real statistic. To make the choices to eat other shitty stuff.
Right.
Because your brain's like barriers down and there's like a chemical inside your system that's being like, it's cool. Whatever, go for the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's just if you're really concerned about that.
Yeah. So I think really like if people are like you and they don't care, then like what does it matter? Like if they don't care, if they want to go and have a good time and eat whatever they want, then just do that.
Right.
And it doesn't matter.
I would say that if you're like me and you do want to not make that happen, then you have to set a performance-based goal. It's got to be something, because I don't care what I look like necessarily. Like, I mean, I care to an extent, but I know just genetically I'm not going to get to a certain place. So I would say set a performance goal of like, I want to be better at surfing, or I want to be better at CrossFit, or I want to be better at volleyball and this sport, and view everything through that lens. So I guess it's a matter of changing up your lens that you view food through.
But what if you still like, you can still feel like, I have a performance goal, I want to do a triathlon, but I'm still like, I'm in this phase of like having just having him and being like, kind of like, YOLO.
Well, I think but throughout a day you're gonna fluctuate, right? There's time. I think the thing that's hard for me is when people regret the choices that they've made.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what you kind of gave options for, but like, what would,
how would you? Not really. Like, the only thing I can suggest is like when you go somewhere, like be prepared, make the choice before you go, and be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna eat this food, or like make sure you're super full before you go. Don't be like, oh, I'm just gonna have a couple. That never works. Either be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it, or I'm not gonna do it. I think like making that choice, right?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I think that's a good one. Like, choose either way. So make the choice beforehand and then follow that. So like, even if you're gonna be crappy, like you made the choice to, I'm gonna go eat crappy.
Yeah.
Like, rather than like in the moment being like, the decision must be made now. You know, it's gotta be.
When you haven't eaten anything and there's like only like.
You're like, what are all these sick chips here? Like. You guys gonna eat all these, or just gonna be me? Like, like make the decision beforehand, but then it empowers you to be like, I made this decision.
That does feel good.
Yeah.
Like when you walk away from something and you're like, yeah, I made the decision and I stuck with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's empowering. But if you make the decision and then you don't follow through on it, you never get that feeling of like success. So, and I think that's where people get into this like cycle, is that they're like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and then they blow it, and then they're like, oh, and then they don't feel that feeling of success, so they feel down, and then they're in this like.
And there's plenty of decisions that you can make. You can say, I'm only having one drink, or I'm only gonna have a handful of chips. But like,
handful of chips.
Well, but like, still, it's like you're setting a parameter for yourself.
Yeah.
And then try to follow through with that.
If you have enough self-control.
For sure.
Yeah, like for sure. I don't know. It's a hard one. Everyone's like,
I think just thinking about it at all is probably a good thing.
Exactly.
Continue to educate yourself on food and how you feel, and continue to link the two together.
Yes.
But you should never feel ashamed. Like.
No, I don't.
You should never feel ashamed ever. Like,
no.
Like you made a decision.
You're an adult. Like, you're an adult. You can deal with that decision.
And there's also arguments to be made that like chemical influences that make it so your decisions get made almost for you. So like. But owning whatever happens, regardless of whether it was a good decision or a bad decision, is probably a good thing to do.
Right.
Like I went through that. I made that decision. Next time, and it's never a failure. It's just like, okay, well, next time I'll make a better decision, and then trying again.
Yeah.
Or incorporating other people to
I think
to
I was
help
about
you
to
out.
say, well, if you're not able to do it yourself, you should like try and get some sort of
100%. WAG, working against gravity.
Yeah. Or start with like maybe your spouse, and then that doesn't work that well, actually.
Your spouse. I mean, depends on your relationship with your spouse. I can't hold her accountable, and actually I probably could, but she couldn't hold me accountable.
Yeah, no, I can't.
So I would say like outsourcing accountability is huge.
You need a third party.
Yeah, if you're that person.
Yeah.
If that matters to you.
Yeah.
If that's something you want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And working against gravity, WAG is the thing that we said. That there's other programs out there working against gravity we know is awesome. There's a bunch, but outsourcing accountability I think is a good one.
Yeah.
Cool. Seems like we got some content there.